Have you ever wondered why some people rise after every fall? Have you ever felt that unseen force that pulls you forward even when life throws you down? Have you ever asked yourself if positive thinking is more than just a pretty idea? Today we search for the answer with the power of science. Not blind hope, not empty words, but truth, grounded in discovery. You are here because a part of you knows that your mind is stronger than your doubts. You are here because something inside tells you there is more power in thought than most people dare to believe. And you are right. Science has already begun to unlock this mystery. Neuroscience, psychology, biology, and medicine are uncovering how thought patterns shape the body and the brain. Positive thinking is no longer just a motivational phrase. It is measurable, observable, and real. But the question remains, can science prove it? The answer is yes, and the evidence is powerful. Right? The human brain is designed to adapt. This ability is called neuroplasticity. Every thought, every belief, every emotion builds new connections. When you choose positive thoughts, you literally rewire your brain. This is not a metaphor, it is a biological fact. Your neurons respond to the signals you send through your inner dialogue. Your mental focus becomes your mental structure. Your repeated choices. Research shows that consistent positive thinking increases activity in regions of the brain responsible for problem solving and creativity. It reduces the grip of the fear center that triggers stress and panic. It strengthens the pathways of resilience, focus, and confidence. This means that positive thinking is not about pretending everything is fine. It is about training the brain to respond with strength instead of weakness. It is about giving your nervous system the signal that you are capable. It is about choosing to send your brain the instructions to survive and thrive. Science also shows that positive thinking affects the body. Optimism lowers stress hormones in the bloodstream. It boosts immune response. It improves cardiovascular health. People who cultivate positive thinking recover faster from illness and surgery. Their bodies fight harder and heal stronger. This is not magic, this is biology at work. The body listens to the mind shapes the chemistry of life itself. Positive thinking also transforms mental health. It reduces symptoms of depression and anxiety. It increases motivation and persistence. It improves sleep and emotional balance. When your thoughts turn from despair to hope, your brain chemistry shifts. Dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins flow more freely. These are the natural fuels of energy, focus, and joy. Science proves that your thoughts are not just private whispers. They are powerful instructions that sculpt your reality. But there is more. Science shows that positive thinking does not just change the individual, it changes the environment around you. When your energy is positive, it influences the way others respond. It builds trust and connection. It inspires cooperation. Even in professional environments, leaders who radiate positive thinking elevate the performance of those around them. This ripple effect is not mystical, it is measurable. The language of the brain, the hormones of the body, and the emotions of people are all deeply connected. Right? So when someone tells you positive thinking is naive, remind yourself that science disagrees. When someone says it is unrealistic, remember that biology has proven otherwise. When someone mocks hope as weakness, show them that hope is strength written into your DNA. Science confirms what many have felt in their hearts for centuries, that the power of thought is the power of life itself. But to understand how science proves positive thinking works, we must dig deeper. We must explore how the brain encodes thought, how the body translates those signals into action, and how mindset becomes the bridge between survival and growth. This journey will reveal that your thoughts are not powerless. Your thoughts are the architecture of your future. Your thoughts are the hidden force that shapes the possible into the real. So let us walk together into this truth. Let us see how science validates the power within you. Let us discover step by step why positive thinking is not an illusion but a law of human potential. To prove the power of positive thinking, we must first understand the mechanics of the brain. The brain is not fixed, it is alive, it is plastic, it changes with use. Every thought releases a chemical signal. Every repeated thought strengthens a pathway. This is how habits are built. This is how patterns are formed. And this is how positive thinking becomes a force of transformation. Imagine a highway system inside your mind. Negative thoughts carve roads that lead to fear and hesitation. Positive thoughts carve roads that lead to action and possibility. The more you travel one road, the stronger and faster it becomes. Science calls this Hebbian learning. Neurons that fire together wire together. This principle explains why repeating positive thoughts builds permanent strength inside your brain. It is not wishful thinking, it is neural architecture. Okay? Now consider stress. When you think negatively, your brain signals the body to release cortisol. Cortisol prepares you for danger, but when it stays too long, it damages health. It weakens immunity, it drains energy, it accelerates aging. Science has proven that people trapped in negative thought patterns suffer more chronic illness and slower recovery. Now contrast that with positive thinking. When you think with hope and confidence, your body releases dopamine and endorphins. These chemicals not only elevate mood, they strengthen the immune system and fuel focus. This is chemical evidence that positive thinking creates health and vitality. Studies also show that positive thinkers live longer. Long-term research demonstrates that optimism predicts lifespan even when other factors like wealth or background are controlled. This means your mindset is as important as diet, exercise, or medicine. Your thoughts are not invisible, they are measurable predictors of life itself. Science does not just suggest it, it proves it. But the power of positive thinking is not limited to health and longevity. It directly affects performance and achievement. When you believe something is possible, your brain engages systems of focus and persistence. When you believe you are capable, you activate regions linked with creativity and decision-making. Positive thinking primes you to take action. Without this mental state, the brain shuts down options and freezes in fear. With it, the brain opens doors and searches for solutions. Science shows that people with a positive mindset set higher goals, work harder, and achieve more. This is not luck, this is neuroscience. Consider the placebo effect. Doctors have long known that patients who believe in treatment often heal even when the treatment is fake. Their belief triggers real. Science has measured tumor shrinkage, pain reduction, and improved function simply because the patient believed they were healing. What does this prove? That the mind is a pharmacy and positive thinking is the prescription. Your body responds to the commands of belief as if they were medicine. This is perhaps the most undeniable scientific proof that positive thinking works. But the story does not end there. Positive thinking also rewires attention. The human brain is flooded with information every second. What you focus on shapes what you see. Negative thinkers notice threats, losses, and limitations. Positive thinkers notice opportunities, paths, and resources. This shift in attention creates a different reality. Two people can face the same challenge, yet one sees a dead end while the other sees a doorway. Science has shown that mindset determines perception, and perception determines outcome. I know. This truth is revolutionary. It means you are not a passive observer of life. You are an active creator. Your brain, your body, and your future bend according to your dominant thought patterns. Science validates what once sounded like poetry. You become what you think, not through magic, but through biology, chemistry, and neural rewiring. So, when we ask, can science prove positive thinking works? The evidence speaks with clarity. Yes, it can. Yes, it does. Yes, it will continue to do so as research deepens. But knowing this is only the first step, the next question is, how do we apply it? How do we take this knowledge from theory to practice? How do we make positive thinking not just a nice idea, but a daily strategy for success, health, and peace? Okay. This is where we move forward. This is where we learn the methods. This is where you realize that science has not only proven the power of positive thinking, but has given you the tools to master it. Knowledge without application is wasted power. Science can prove positive thinking works, but you must choose to practice it. The brain will only rewire if you give it repeated instructions. The body will only shift if you feed it consistent signals. The future will only change if you decide to command it with thought. So, how do you practice positive thinking in a way that science supports? The first method is awareness. You must notice the stream of thoughts that run through your mind. Science shows that most thoughts are repetitive. Many of them are negative. The cycle runs automatically until you interrupt it. Awareness is the key that unlocks the cycle. By noticing your thoughts, you weaken the grip of negativity. By naming the thought, you take away its silent power. The second method is replacement. Science has proven that the brain cannot easily erase a thought, but it can replace it. When a negative thought appears, you cannot simply shout stop and hope it disappears. Instead, you must insert a positive statement in its place. Over time, the brain learns to favor the new pathway. This is not denial, it is discipline. You are not ignoring reality, you are choosing the lens that builds strength. The third method is repetition. Repetition is the language of the brain. Every belief is built through repeated exposure. Every skill is learned through repeated practice. Science confirms that affirmations work not because of magic, but because of neuroplasticity. The more you say I can, the more your brain wires I can. The more you say I am capable, the more your brain encodes capability. This is how small words build massive futures. The fourth method is visualization. Studies prove that mental rehearsal activates the same brain regions as physical practice. Athletes use this technique to sharpen performance. Doctors use it to help patients heal. Leaders use it to prepare for success. When you see your desired outcome clearly in your mind, your brain treats it as preparation for reality. Positive visualization is not fantasy, it is neurological training. The fifth method is gratitude. Science shows that gratitude shifts brain activity toward areas linked with joy and satisfaction. Practicing gratitude lowers stress and increases resilience. It rewires the mind to notice abundance instead of lack. It builds a foundation of positive thinking that cannot be shaken by temporary struggles. A grateful brain is a strong brain. A grateful mind is a fertile ground for growth. The sixth method is environment. Your brain responds to the atmosphere around you. Science proves that people mirror the emotions of those they spend time with. This is called emotional contagion. If you surround yourself with negative people, you absorb their fear. If you surround yourself with positive people, you absorb their strength. Environment is not neutral, it is programming. Choosing positive company is not luxury, it is necessity. The seventh method is language. The words you speak are signals to your brain. Science has shown that self-talk changes performance and motivation. When you speak with strength, your brain believes you. When you repeat weakness, your brain obeys weakness. Language is the bridge between thought and action. Every word you choose is an instruction to your nervous system. Or choose wisely and you build a future of power. The eighth method is focus. The brain cannot hold endless priorities. Science reveals that focus gets attention, amplifies energy and results. When you focus on what you want instead of what you fear, your brain magnifies that reality. When you direct your attention to progress instead of obstacles, you unlock creativity. Focus is mental fuel. Positive thinking is not just about general hope, it is about deliberate focus on growth. These methods are simple yet profound. They are not abstract ideas, they are proven by research. They are not empty inspiration, they are biological strategies. Science has given you the map. Now you must walk the path, so understand this truth. Positive thinking is not just about smiling through pain. It is about building a brain that responds to life with resilience. It is about creating a body that thrives under pressure. It is about shaping a future where possibility outweighs limitation. And every part of this is backed by science. This is the foundation, but we can go deeper. We can uncover how positive thinking not only helps the individual, but transforms society. We can reveal how this mindset creates movements, companies, innovations, and progress for humanity, because the power of thought is not limited to one person. It is the energy that moves the world. Science has already proven that positive thinking changes the individual, but the deeper truth is that it also transforms entire communities. Human beings are social creatures. Our brains are wired to connect, mirror, and influence each other. This means that your positive thinking does not stop with you. It radiates outward and reshapes the world around you. Researchers in psychology call this the broaden and build theory. Positive emotions expand attention and thinking. When one person experiences positivity, it encourages curiosity, creativity, and cooperation. Others feel that energy and respond in kind. This builds stronger relationships, deeper trust, and greater teamwork. Science proves that positivity is contagious and spreads like fire. This means one hopeful mind can spark change in many others. In professional settings, positive thinking has measurable results. Teams led by optimistic leaders perform better. Employees with hopeful outlooks are more productive and resilient under stress. Companies that cultivate positive cultures innovate faster and endure longer. This is not a dream, it is data. Science has tracked performance metrics and confirmed that positivity drives measurable success, right? In education, the same pattern appears. Students who develop positive thinking skills show higher motivation and persistence. They perform better on tests and adapt more quickly to challenges. Teachers who model optimism influence not only grades but also confidence and resilience in their students. Science shows that belief in potential directly fuels actual achievement. In healthcare, the evidence is equally powerful. Patients who maintain positive thinking show faster recovery rates. Hospitals that introduce hope-based therapies reduce complications and improve patient satisfaction. Doctors and nurses who carry optimism into their practice report less burnout and more empathy. The ripple of positive thinking moves beyond the mind and into every field of human progress. But perhaps the most powerful scientific discovery is how collective optimism changes society itself. Sociologists and economists have studied the role of mindset in communities. Regions where people share hope and resilience recover faster from crisis. They rebuild economies quicker. They heal from disasters stronger. Science shows that positivity does not just help individuals survive, it helps entire groups thrive. This means that your positive thinking is not selfish. It is a contribution. When you choose optimism, you give strength to your family. When you choose hope, you inspire your colleagues. When you choose resilience, you set an example for society. Your thoughts become part of the invisible current that moves humanity forward. This is why science and motivation must work together. Motivation without science can be dismissed as fantasy. Science without motivation can be ignored as theory. But when combined, they form an unshakable truth that the human mind is a force capable of shaping not only personal destiny, but collective destiny. Nika, think about the history of progress. Every discovery, every invention, every movement began with a thought that something better was possible. Science confirms that this spark of possibility is not just luck, it is the biology of optimism. Positive thinking fuels courage, courage fuels action, action fuels change, and change fuels progress. So when we ask, can science prove positive thinking works, the answer extends beyond personal health or achievement. It stretches into the very core of human advancement. Positive thinking is not a soft idea. It is the driving force behind education, innovation, leadership, and recovery. Without it, fear dominates and progress halts. With it, humanity rises. And here's the crucial point. Science shows that negative thinking narrows perspective. It closes the mind to solutions. It increases division and distrust. It feeds cycles of despair and stagnation. This is not only destructive for the individual, it is destructive for communities and nations. The cost of negativity is measurable. The reward of positivity is undeniable. Right? So remember this truth. Your positive thinking is not just for you. It is for every person you meet, every space you enter, every challenge you face. Science has given us the evidence, motivation gives us the courage. Now it is up to you to carry that torch and spread it further. We have traveled through the science of positive thinking. We have seen how it rewires the brain. We have seen how it heals the body. We have seen how it strengthens mental health and performance. We have seen how it transforms communities and society. Now we arrive at the final truth. The proof is clear. The responsibility is yours. Science can open the door, but you must walk through it. No study, no theory, no discovery will change your life unless you decide to act. Positive thinking is not passive, it is active. It is not waiting for good to appear. It is creating the conditions for good to appear. Science proves it works, but only if you practice it daily. So, what does this practice look like in your life? It looks like noticing when your mind drifts toward fear and gently guiding it toward strength. It looks like choosing words of power instead of words of defeat. It looks like imagining the future you want and holding that picture until your brain believes it is possible. It looks like surrounding yourself with people who fuel your growth. It looks like gratitude for every step, no matter how small. It looks like discipline to repeat the process until it becomes your second nature. Science has proven that small actions done consistently create large changes. Neuroplasticity does not happen overnight. Cells do not rewire instantly, but with steady practice, the brain transforms. With steady practice, the body responds. With steady practice, the future bends toward strength. This means you must be patient with yourself. You must trust the process. You must accept that some days will feel heavy, but heavy days do not erase progress. Every repetition counts. Every choice matters. Every positive thought is a brick in the foundation of your new life. And understand this clearly. Positive thinking is not denial of pain. It is the courage to face pain with strength. It is not ignorance of struggle. It is the determination to turn struggle into fuel. It is not pretending all is well. It is training your mind to see possibilities even in storms. This is resilience, this is power, this is science in action. So where do you go from here? You begin today. You begin with one thought. You begin with one decision. You begin with one moment of gratitude, one phrase of strength, one vision of hope. Then you repeat it tomorrow and the day after until your mind no longer doubts its own power, until your body no longer resists your own commands, until your life reflects the design you built inside your thoughts. The science is already clear. The only missing piece is your choice. Will you continue to let negative thinking weaken your brain, your body, your future? Or will you embrace the proven path of positivity, the path that gives health, strength, and resilience, the path that builds relationships, opportunities, and progress, the path that turns fear into fuel and doubt into determination? Remember this truth: you are not powerless, you are not stuck, you are not limited by the past. You are a creator wired with the ability to shape reality through thought. This is not empty inspiration. This is proven biology. This is the law of the brain. This is the science of life. So rise with confidence, think with power, choose with intention, build with belief, and never forget that every thought is a seed, the harvest is coming. Science has already proven the soil is ready. Now the planting is in your hands. Your future begins in your mind. Your destiny begins in your thought. And your positive thinking is the force that will take you there.